thermal imaging? Anybody want to take a guess?
To pick up the presence of something we cannot see.
Okay. By what?
Heat signature.
Cold signatures. We're looking for
Cold signature.
those create cold spots, correct? Okay, so we're going off that old Adash, right? So should be red, orange, and yellow in the picture, right? You guys can all see me in there, and everything around me is blue and black.
Right.
So it's going to fluctuate based on whatever's inside that camera. Okay, so we're going to take me out of it and watch what happens to the leaves above me. See how everything kind of fluctuated? There's orange, red, and yellow in there now. So this is a FLIR camera. It's actually used by firemen and mechanics to help with engine problems. It also helps find leaks in your house as far as plumbing goes. So it's a really cool device. I wanted to go with the real deal on this guy for you guys, and it's awesome. So I have caught evidence with this. It's not the most exciting tool. It's fun to watch later to kind of see what we capture. So we'll kind of see how it goes. It's already recording. I lost names already. Tim? All right. Because we have a Jim too, right? Yes. Tim and Jim, skeptics. Got it. All right. So he's like, don't pick on me. That's what he's doing. Don't pick on me. So literally all you have to do all night long is just be a cameraman. Okay. You're going to hold it horizontal just like this so it's facing out, and that way you can kind of see what you're watching. And we're going to go into a little bit more detail with our first location. It's really a hands-on teach and train more even further. So the red square on there, go ahead and take that from me. The red square on there means that it is recording. Okay. So if it turns to a circle, you have to let me know so that I can splice the video together for you in the morning. Okay. And you guys are going to get that full recording back. The reason why I say hold it horizontal is because it goes to YouTube and then back to my website, so all of your data is in one spot. Okay,
that
so
makes sense.
Yeah, so it's nice and easy to use. We're going to stick with temperature for a second because I'm going to put you guys basically in pairs. Luckily for you guys, you came in pairs. So
We did.
we want to debunk whatever Tim sees on that camera. Okay, we want to make sure what we have is legit. So, Lisa,
Yes.
I'm guessing. What's the dynamic here?
Yes. This is my husband.
All right.
Yep.
Couple. All right, perfect. All right, just want to make sure. I hate to assume anything. So, in the event, he says, Nick, there's a blue spot up there, and I don't know what it is. Everything around it is orange and red. The first thing I'm going to do, you guys know what this guy is, right? Circle temperature. So, it's going to give us a red dot. It's only going to measure. Okay, have a good night. So, it's only going to measure wherever that red dot lands. Okay, so it's not measuring the air in between the gun and the red dot. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously measure the wall. If the wall is all of the same temperature, then I need an ambient temperature thermometer so that way I can see where the blue spot is. That way we would move it between Tim and the wall to find out where the blue spot is and still do a debunking session. Is an air conditioner blowing? Is there something else making the cold air around that area? When I say cold air, I'm talking a drop in temperature of 10 to 15 degrees. So this one's not as super active. You can almost pocket it. But this guy here is a laser and does shoot very far.
Okay.
So
Don't shoot anybody in the eye.
Exactly. We will be using quite a few lasers tonight. You only have one laser dot, so lasers can get Nick arrested. So we're going to be very careful with those.
Okay.
Alright, so let's move on
Shoot my toes. Your shoe? I mean, in your shoe. Will it?
to spirit boxes. So, what are spirit boxes? They're basically radio sweepers. That's all they do. Kind of think of a radio scanner you would use for the police. Okay, it's the same principle. Only it does it automatically for us at what we call a sweep rate. So I have it set to a slower. If you guys all watch ghost hunting shows, you guys know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys know the white noise you guys hear, and then they give you a phrase of what they think they heard, kind of BS that goes along with that. Yeah, most of it is. So this is going to work similar to that, only it's not going to just be white noise. I want the radio DJs, the song lyrics, and the commercials to come through. The little snippets of text that you're going to actually be able to make out might be something. It's a 50-50 shot. If you can make it out, if you ask the question like, hey, what color's my jacket, and you heard the word green, we're going to keep going. So it's a legitimate response and an intelligent response. The cool thing about this guy is that it's going to record the entire session for us, no outside noise, even when it's on mute. So it's recording right now whatever the radio sweeps are going to be. So for example, I'm just going to turn it up a little bit so you guys can get a gist of it. Obviously, I didn't hear anything during that 5 seconds that I had it up, but you get the gist of what we're looking for. So that's actually going to go to you guys. Oh, I almost put my drink over. And as far as what's going to go along with that is an EMF meter. So you guys have probably seen these on your ghost hunting shows as well. How do these guys work? they measure 3 different types of electromagnetic fields. We're not going to get excited every time that little green light jumps up a notch. Okay, the first one's natural. It's widescreen. It's not doing anything. But electronic devices are going to make this thing go into a pulse. Okay, cell phones, parking meters, buildings. We're going to get a rhythm. Okay, we don't want that. We want this thing to go crazy. That's something we can't explain. I can look around and say, there's no parking meters, there's no building. My cell phone's not even close to it. If it starts going erratic, we might have something going on. I also want you to keep in mind, I don't get excited with one device going off. So what this means, this doesn't record anything. So if this starts going off in a location, I'm going to be watching a video, listening to that spirit box in that same time frame based on my recording that I'm going to have on my chest the entire time. Does that make sense? I'm going to sync everything up. So you guys are going to use that to know where to stop to start asking questions, and I'll teach you more about the questions in a minute. Sweet. All right, so that's spirit box going. And let's see here. Let's go with more lasers.
Jim, the temperature right there is really high.
That's right, baby.
It's a lot of blood flow.
It's normally joke that this is the neuralizer from Men in Black.
Oh,
It is!
excellent.
So you all have to stare right here, and you're not going to remember anything. But I'm recording it all, so you'll have it. No worries.
Right.
It's really a great pen. Okay, so
Ooh.
what's cool about this guy is we can't see the green lights from my pen to the ground, correct? We can only see where they
Correct.
land.
Right.
If something passes through it, we can obviously see what's going to happen. Now, I will tell you, I've never caught anything as big as my hand. It's always been a quick little blip. You guys see the tip of my finger? Just kind of catching it. It's very quick. So, who's
Jim?
more responsible?
Oh, I am.
Okay.
Who's more?
Depends on how strong the grounders are when they kick
So-
in totally.
Okay, well
Your
mine
particular
have.
laser, Jim, needs to be pointed down,
Down.
and then maybe 5 feet out in front of you. Now, we have another one. We have red squares.
Ooh.
So why do we have red squares?
Checkers? Trap.
Close. In the
It's
event
a
we
trap.
capture something here, and name.
Ellen.
Ellen.
Chatty.
Ellen.
Yeah.
Ellen,
Chatty.
she's going to have a camera. If she captures a picture through here, I can then put it in 3D software, and you guys will have a full view of the apparition that we caught. How cool is that? So, don't cross the streams. That's a bad Ghostbuster joke, but it works here. Actually, it goes to Jim.
That
He
goes
gets
to
both.
Jim.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Jim,
Yeah.
you better stay focused.
Is it on the side?
Yeah, he has a toggle switch on the side.
Toggle on side.
Okay.
Right there. Uh-oh, what am I doing?
That's
You're
like
taking
Christmas, Jim.
I'm taking pictures. Yeah.
I don't hand this to anybody under the age of 20 because they don't know what the hell it is. So, very simple.
What?
It has an on and off button. It will shut off if we're not taking pictures for so many periods of time. And the big button is obviously taking pictures. There's no flash on this guy. Please don't mess with the settings. I don't need false positives. If we take a picture of a building, we're going to get a bunch of lights on the building that my wife, who does all the photography work for me, is going to say, Nick, what the hell are you thinking? So the flash is off. Obviously, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be teaming up,
With these guys.
and as he holds those lasers out, you're going to be shooting through it, not down at the ground. I want to see what's between his hands
Between his
You're
hands
and the ground.
Okay.
So, you two are pair. Everybody's good. Now
Got it.
let's talk about what I'm going to be doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to be involved, right? I'm not just going to walk around and tell stories. All right. And anybody else get an Android update the other day that just sucks? It is horrible. It makes it sound like an iPhone. Like, come on.
Ah!
Did you get an
Sorry,
iPhone?
I didn't
Yeah,
know.
I got an update. I didn't get an.
Oh, it's horrible. I hate it. So the first thing I'm going to be using is a spirit box myself that's going to give us a list of words
Looks like a
in the
monkey.
center of the screen from time to time. Okay, so it's going to save those words to a list, and you guys are going to get the entire list back. The last tour I did had about 80 words. I turned it on a little early, so it would kind of jumpstart a little bit. 80% of this is absolute bullshit. So I'm just going to be upfront and honest with you guys on that one. The other 5 to 20% that I will actually find relevant terms, I will give you verifiable links next to those terms of why that term was relevant to something happening with our tour, the location we're at, person I'm talking about, question we asked, something along those lines. If it's verifiable, I'll give it to you. If it's not, that I can provide to you a link, I can't verify it. So therefore, you're still going to get the entire list. So just kind of keep that in mind. The second thing I'm going to use is called a reverse spirit box. So what the heck is that? It's literally, they advertised this app as taking live radio and flipping it backwards. That's impossible. I'm a communications major. You can't take live FM signals and turn them backwards and have it play back in real time. It's just, you can't do it. It's stupid. So what did I do? I put it in my software and I flipped it forwards. I wanted to know what the hell it was. It is literally a man and a woman saying random words. I don't know how long the loop might be. I tested it for over an hour and didn't hear the same word twice. I'm going to turn it up just so you guys get the gist of what it sounds like. And I'm going to have to get close to you, so let me mask up real quick so that way you guys can hear it. And the only way you're going to be able to hear this is on the recording that'll be on me. So it's not supposed to cover your whole face, is it? All right, so let me turn this up. You got to know that the traffic is gone. Complete gibberish, right?
Yeah.
Can't make anything out.
Like random noise.
Exactly. So I will tell you, when we do catch something out of this, it is clear as day. Throughout the tour, I might be pointing out some other recorded EVPs I got from different apps or the thermal imaging camera. I did get one that was very specific. You guys heard the gibberish. I heard baked beans breakfast one night. Clear as day. Didn't know clue what it was. I listened to the data the next morning. The spirit box you have says I'll fix you, baked beans breakfast, and the word list I showed you gave me the word tea, all within 3 minutes of each other. I'll fix you, baked beans breakfast, and tea. I was talking about a woman from England. That's a breakfast in the UK. I had no idea. I had to Google it. So again, I'm not a know-all of every tiny detail of these people's lives. I'm going to give you basic stories, and we're going to see what kind of clues we can build up off of that. So again, those are the tools that I'm going to be using. And I will go through, like this will stay open all night long, and you guys will get that full list. You guys are obviously getting a lot of data back. You're going to get all your pictures, spirit box recording, thermal imaging video, and obviously the word list and the audio that I'm going to give you. So you're going to have a lot to go through. I'm only going to review it for about 2 hours. But remember, that's probably a good 10 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot of data.
Yeah, it's about 10 hours.
Yeah.
And I got another tour after you. So I got to do the same thing for them. So I actually literally get up at 6 every morning and I just get started. And I'm usually done by noon. So I will text Lisa. I don't know. Did I scare her off now?
She's grabbing a scarf.
So again, one of those, I will review it, give you about 2 hours of my time uploading it and reviewing it, and give you a quick analysis of what I find. And if there's a theme, I'll kind of let you know that in your analysis.
Where's the upload to?
I'm going to send Lisa the link. It's going to go straight to my website.
She'll send it to us.
And it stays there, so you guys can download it. You can revisit the page as many times as you want because it's monetized. And Nick's got all the tricks. All right, so we start here for a reason, guys. It's haunted. Why wouldn't we start at a haunted location?
I love it.
So how long have you guys lived here? You said a couple years, like 20 years?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were in New England for 20.
Ah, gotcha.
Lots of ghosts there too.
Yep.
One in the choir loft I used to work in.
So this place back in the 1970s used to be called Big John's. So Big John was a football player for the New York Giants in 1947. He used to sit in the back of the bar, and he would nod off to the bartender if, wow, my bag's much lighter, thank you. So this bag gets heavy with all this gear. I got batteries and all kinds of extra things in here. So at any rate, he used to sit in the back of the bar, and he would kind of nod off to the bartender if the cadets that were coming over from the Citadel, if they were of age or not. Well, one night 2 guys come in. Big John knew him, told the bartender, cut him off, get him out of here. So obviously they leave pretty pissed off. Now they come back the next night and they try to steal the cash register from the front of the bar. Big John sees what's going on. They get into a little rough and tumble on the ground. They start fighting. A couple of shots were fired and John gets hit in the neck and the bullet ricochets and lands in the wall. So John finishes pounding the guy into the floor, gets up, goes to the bartender and says, get me a beer, get him an ambulance. John's the one that's shot. Okay, so keep that in mind. Nobody died in that story. It's the bullet hole that ricocheted into the wall that actually makes this place haunted. So people that sit in the front of the bar can get those effects of being nauseous, dizzy, not feeling well. If any of those things happen to you tonight, that's the reason why I bring up this story. I need to know. So with that being said, it's very important to me. I've had people pass out. I've had people just walk away from the tour and say it's too much. Migraines are common in certain areas. So any slightest bit of anything, please let me know. It's a big deal. First time somebody passed out on me, I was in CPR class the next day.
No.
You can imagine. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Putting people in danger. I don't say that as a scare tactic. It's literally a health hazard. So again, if it's too much, we'll work it out. Sure. So let's get off of our health. Is he gonna hit me? Is he gonna make me a ghost? So
I hope not.
We had a big earthquake here in 1886, if you guys didn't know that, and apparently this was allegedly where the first death occurred from that earthquake. A piece of the mantling above your heads in the front of the building broke off and struck somebody in the head, and allegedly that was the first death. Do I have proof of that? No, but I needed a story to get your minds off of your own health, and I'm going to put you in danger. So let's go ghost hunting. We're gonna go this way.
Okay.
Come on, cameraman.
We'll lead you. We'll follow you. I'll let the camera get up front.
Yep. Welcome to your first beautiful spot in Charleston. This is what I call the Red Barn Lot. If you don't know what this place is, this is where we keep the horses for your carriage rides. The horses are inside the barn. It's my first morning, so all of you with lasers, both of you. Yes, I'm the English guy, and I just said all both of you. No lasers on vehicles, because you can't set them off. Those lasers are pretty strong. And no lasers in those open windows that are down there at the edge of the barn. You will spook the ponies, and ponies are friends. We don't want to make them angry. They will kick, and then if you want a scare tactic, by all means, make them angry. So, the big history on this place, there's not much. And the reason why I bring y'all here is because it's a great practice place for me to go one-on-one with you and show you more tactics about your devices. So, the only history I have is this is the same red barn that we had horses in that delivered milk to Charleston. With every story I'm going to tell you tonight, listen for the word clues. I'll emphasize certain words. Delivered milk, Charleston. Horses. They're also draft horses. So those are all clues. Those are things you can be listening for. Let's talk about spirit boxes first, because as far as the temperature team, I'm going to work with you guys one-on-one first. Spirit boxes, this is not TV. We're going to stay away from yes and no questions.
Okay.
So, for example, is somebody here? No. Well, first off, that means somebody's here. If they say houses, you think you heard the word yes. S and O are two of the most common sounds in our phonetic English language. That's why I stay away from those questions. What color is this barn behind me?
Red.
Okay, there's no deviating away from that answer, correct? Everybody can see that the barn is red? Mm-hmm. You're going to ask, what color is the barn?
Okay.
You're going to wait 30 seconds or so. If you don't get an answer, ask the same question again.
Okay.
Also keep in mind, with whatever questions we ask any kind of person or deceased person tonight, those answers can come up anywhere. They could follow us around. It happens. It could be a very direct answer. We might get the color red later on, at the end. We don't know. So, if you don't get an answer, after 3 or 4 tries, try another question. What's inside the barn? Now we've just opened everything up. Draft, horses, delivery, milk, ponies, animals, hay. Last night I got the word shelter. I asked what's inside the barn. Shelter. Makes sense, doesn't it? Never even thought of that. I've been doing this for 1.5 years, and nobody's ever said that answer before. I've always gotten something else more direct. So those are the kind of clues you're going to be listening for. Just give them time to muster up that energy to be able to come up with the right word that the DJ is about to say. Now again, that spirit box is slowed down. For example, during holiday times, what color is a barn? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. We still got the word red.
Right.
Okay, so you might get a full phrase after that. I was asking about a specific president last night, and we got the answer in a commercial. You've been listening to Doctor. I'm not going to give you the answer because it's going to be a question for you guys later. But I do want you to stick to questions that you know the answers to. What color is my coat? What color is the building? You know, something very, very direct. The next place we go to, it's not going to be so direct. He's going to have questions that nobody knows the answers to. Unless, of course, you've been doing your research long before this tour. So, we're going to be talking about Eliza Pinckney. So if anybody knows anything about Eliza Pinckney, we're going to learn a whole lot more. Let's see. So, pictures and lasers. Again, lasers are down, not on the building. We're going to stay away from vehicles.
Pictures are through, the lasers.
Yes, correct. So, go ahead and shoot one of your lasers down for me. Go ahead and raise your arm up just a little bit. So you're going to be shooting through here.
Through here.
Yep, you got it. So really, in case he misses something, that's really what those pictures are for. Not to mention we want some more evidence as well. Don't be, you can see how like this little green dot right here is kind of going over this crack and then it's flashing back at you. You don't want to be getting false positives out of stuff like that.
Right.
Now if you see something very definitive like my feet and my legs,
right,
obviously get as many pictures as possible. So you can use either grid, you can use both of them. Again, it's not wise.
Don't cross them.
Don't cross them. It's not wise. We'll do a cross-eye. At least I will. The epilepsy guy doesn't do well with crazy green and reds. All right, so you two are good. You two are good. Anything happen on that? Yeah, there you go. So literally, you guys are going to be kind of walking around. When that thing starts going crazy and you can't explain what's happening around it, start asking your questions. But you can keep that spirit box up. Just keep it audible to you. We don't want to spook the horses. They don't like white noise.
Where is the volume on it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to show you. So at the top, there's a button, and next to that button is a little turn wheel.
So, perfect. Very good.
Sorry, I can't believe I didn't show
No, you're
you.
fine. Thank you.
All right. You two go wander, go find me some crazy pictures, take as many pictures as you'd like. Temperature team.
Yes.
All right.
Stay around the red.
Yeah, we're going to stay within this lot, like this floor.
But okay, all over.
All over. All right.
Don't
so-
get lost.
Yeah, don't get lost. So temperature team is, go ahead and point your camera right at the building for me and tell me what you see.
Whole bunch of red.
Whole bunch of red. Watch what happens when I get in it.
So it went blue and you went red.
Right. Okay,
Why
see,
is that?
Because I'm now the base.
Oh.
My skin temperature is the warmest thing in that camera right now. Until you take me out of it, now that's the warmest thing. It always needs some kind of base. I usually say try to keep
see.
a person in there.
Yeah.
Because a person, like we're obviously going to be warmer than anything else.
Right.
So we want to try to keep some skin in there.
Got it.
Actually, I'll show you a quick, because it actually might convince you. This is legit. So I have a video of somebody using that camera and keeping somebody in the picture at all times. And really what you're looking for are the blue and the black colors to start moving on their own. So where you can recognize what a shape of it might actually be. Hang on a second. Find it. Sorry, I post a lot of social media. Got to keep the business going, right?
That's right.
All right, so this is our next location. This orange, red is a wall. Do you see the two living people walking past?
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna fast forward just a little bit. You're gonna see two deadheads going the opposite way, and there'll be a person in view right here the whole time. 1, 2.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
So that's really what you're looking for. Those
Okay.
small little blue or black blobs.
Got it.
And that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
with you on your laser, you're gonna be getting base reads for him with the gun. So for
Okay.
example, like, go ahead and shoot your red dot on the wall. There's no... Now, what temperature do you have?
48.5.
Now point your camera at the wall and tell me what degree you have.
Right at the dot, it's like 49.0.
Okay, so you're obviously a little bit higher than hers, right?
Yes.
So if your temperature starts to drop below hers on the gun, you're measuring air. She's not. She's only measuring a surface.
I see.
So in the event you drop below hers, then we obviously have something going on between you and the wall. So that's when she's going to bring out the yellow one, and there's a power button in the bottom right. Again, that one's not always super active, so you can almost pocket it until you need it. But it'll measure the temperature through the very tip of that. So that's when you're going to go like this and try to find where that temperature starts to drop a little bit. And when I say drop, we're talking like 10 to 15 degrees.
And does that move, or does it just stay where it is?
Both. I've seen
Okay.
both. So you can also catch thermodynamics in reverse. What does that mean? So let's say you're just kind of standing there and you guys are talking, but all of a sudden, where you're aimed at on the ground, that starts to warm up like very quickly.
Okay.
Temperature can't be created or destroyed. It has to balance. So
Right.
that means there's a cold spot generating somewhere else. I don't want you to try to find that cold spot. I want you to stay
Stay on
focused,
the-
stay on the
Yeah.
warm spot. So
Okay.
especially if it goes, I mean, I've seen it. It's a miraculous thing to watch a piece of the ground literally go from say 50 to 65 degrees in 10 seconds. Like that's miraculous to me, and there's nothing going on. So again, look at that. It says pro. Sorry, I always kind of review the list of words as it builds up, so just to see if there's anything relevant. I see military. So.
Huh.
And Big John was a pro football player. Kind of a
Okay.
stretch until I see the word Giants, but we'll kind of take it from there. I'm going to let you guys explore.
Okay.
Do the same thing that they're doing. We're only going to spend like maybe 5 to 7 minutes here just so you guys get used to your devices. I really want them to catch something on that spirit box.
Okay.
It's really the aim for this.
And I'm going to want to keep her in focus because she'll be my warm.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, there'll be certain, like this place and the next location, people get funny about cameras in their cars. So if you see somebody coming out to their vehicle,
Okay.
you're just holding a
Be
cell phone at
sensitive
that
about
point.
it. Yep. Understood.
Pretty much it. All right, let me follow up with them and see how they're doing.
I just heard a ghost dog behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Looks just like a real person too. Look at him. Amazing how real it is.
Should I shine my laser in his face?
To measure temperatures. Let's just see if our friend has anything. He's pretty warm.
Cold spots yet?
Not that I don't expect. You should be shooting your lasers all over the place.
What am I looking for?
You're just drawing pictures with it and stuff. Shake it around. Set something on fire. Don't cross the streams though.
Into the horses' faces.
I wonder if I could see like horses' cavities with this camera. That's a fancy looking golf cart. Is anybody driving the golf cart?
Oh,
No.
the golf cart is hitched.
Right,
The hitch.
right.
So they look for the red sash.
Look for the red sash. See, there's the red again. I'm not sure.
What the hell does that mean?
I would need to have some mushrooms and quaaludes. Way more than the quaaludes I had this morning for breakfast. This is my tour. It's a DIY tour.
See
Oh,
if
look at
there's
that
any-
cold spot. That's really cold.
Is that cold?
Yep. It's a pizza box. And yet pizzas are hot. What does that mean? Actually, you know what's really weird? There's two other dark blue things that are not on the ground. Look at my camera here. Seriously, like there's nothing over there. What is that? Can you move your... I don't know where it is. Oh, that's that? Yeah, go to that thing.
This?
Yeah, that's it. All right, that's a piece of paper. So it is there. All right, pizza. Oh, that's a piece of pizza. That makes sense. Piece of pizza from the pizza box. So what's that that's cold?
I think it's cheese.
No, go up to that thing. No, I don't see any more. I think it's... Here, actually, I guess I just go like this. Oh, maybe it's not grass.
Oh, it's the crack
No.
in your... Oh,
Krakatoa.
I think there's a piece of pizza.
Oh, is that pizza? Yep.
There's a lot of stories.
Nobody's eating the pizza either. I don't know if ghosts eat pizzas.
Okay, I will do that.
Do they get hungry?
Better buy some candy.
Yeah, buy some candy.
Oh,
I followed up with you guys. I wanted to follow up with them. Sorry.
Okay.
where are you guys going?
Wait, we following? Oh, we're not following you. Okay. We got that on film or audio. Oh, let's look at up top there. I'm gonna see if all those things, those fires up top would be bright.
Shine the camera on.
Alright. See if there's a ghost driving that. Man. I was thinking the same thing. This is that the Star of David? Oh, what is that up there? What's a white line? It's now gone?
Checking out the Hummer I see.
Yeah.
Is this what you guys all thought it was going to be? Oh, look at that. Where did she just go?
I don't understand what this is.
Okay, so this is basically sweeping through FM radio stations the same way, and it's just going to give us a random word from time to time of something you think that may occur. So again, 80% of it is doesn't. It's meant to be a game in our homes. It's meant to scare college kids in a drinking game or whatever they want to do. However, the way I use it, that's telling me somebody watching this just wants to know.
Yeah. But you just said it's gonna spit out random words based on hearing conversations.
Hearing conversation from the radio.
Oh, I thought you meant our conversation.
So again, when I turn this thing up, you're going to hear a little bit of static.
Yeah.
So that's its pretend noise that it's going through the FM radio stations. But I look at it the way my research goes. The spirit world can use any electronic. That's kind of mentality. That's why I say 80% of it's going to be us, because the app is going to do its own thing. But it's not uncommon for me to get words that are related to us or the stories I'm telling. So just the same way he's listening for odd phrases from a DJ or a song lyric, it's the same principle. It's waiting for that word. It's kind of like, did you guys see the movie Transformers?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so it's just like Bumblebee. Bumblebee talks through the radio because he doesn't have a voice box. So they're using this as their voice box. Or that. Or that. That's why I throw so many devices at this at one time.
What do you mean? Give it to me, I'll take all three of you.
How you doing?
Terrible, brother.
Really?
Yeah, I apologize. I mean, no harm. I'm having a hard time right now. I'm down on my luck. I'm staying in a hotel with my family. I'm trying to afford the rent before they kick us out in the morning. I have to pay every day because I don't have the money. And I'm asking please, if you can come.
I can't help you right now, man.
No, I'm sorry to intervene. Have a nice evening.
Yeah,
You
good
too.
night.
Thank you, sir. Have a good week.
Hello.
Well, that was awkward. Caught on film.
And there's our commentary.
Gentleman down on his luck, but he's got a nice bicycle, which is good. He can get around.
Yeah. True story. All right, let's go up to
That
the next location.
just happened.
And we'll wait for the rest of them. Get Tim and Jim mixed up.
Did it actually happen?
What I didn't hear what he said. Except when you said how you doing.
He said he was not
doing
doing
it.
so well. Yeah.
And was he broke?
Yeah. Well, he's staying in a hotel or something. And somebody's getting kicked out sometime. At some point. Yes. Hard to tell what's true, what's not. Maybe this FLIR camera could have told me.
I'm actually waiting for them to come back, only because this is, if I had a grand finale, this would be it. Because there's that much activity here, and you can see the EPAP is going crazy. That's good.
So I don't know anything about the story to ask
Yeah.
here.
So I'm going to give you some questions of things that I hopefully you guys will get an answer for somewhere. Also keep in mind too, when you're asking questions, that answer can go anywhere. We all have devices of some sort. So the answer can come to my audio, it can go to the audio of the camera, it can go to the 3 spirit boxes that are running. It just depends. You never know where the answer's going to go. And a lot of times I'll ask a question that I didn't tell you about, and you're going to turn around and say, what's Blue Brick? You know what I mean? And like, I asked what their favorite restaurant was. You know, something crazy, and that's just random. Totally made. No such thing as Blue Brick. Hey, look at them. They came back.
Made it back.
Good deal.
Then I brought truffles.
Oh, wow, look at that. It came loaded.
Who's chocolate?
Alright guys, so welcome to the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion site. Yes, this is another gorgeous site for us to look at in Charleston. So, what's so cool about this place is it's completely haunted, as we can all see from the EMF meter, giving us very erratic pulses, rhythms, all kinds of things throughout. So, who were Charles and Eliza Pinckney? They had a son named Charles, they had a nephew named Charles. Those two were signers of our Constitution, so that's a pretty big deal for us here in Charleston. However, we just had an election, and let's not talk about politics. Let's move on to Eliza. Eliza is way more cooler than the rest of them. So Eliza married Charles at a very young age. Why? Because her father thought he was dying over in England, and he's like, that's not truffles, I love it. But anyway, so her dad thought he was dying over in England, and she didn't want to go home. He wanted all his kids home, and she didn't want to go. So she got married, which wasn't a citizenship thing back in colonial times, but she pretty much meant that she was staying, but she wasn't okay. So Dad gets better and starts sending her gifts over from England. One of those gifts happened to be the plant indigo. Indigo makes blue dye that makes our blue jeans blue. We still use it today. So it started right where you guys are standing. It started off as an experiment in her backyard, which is where we are. So the mansion would have been in the front facing East Bay. The garden was lined up with that tree to the left, moved all the way across, and I'm standing where the servant and slave quarters would have been. Do I know much about them? I do not. There's not much information on them. So again, indigo obviously became a huge cash crop because she used Daddy's contacts overseas to make it a huge cash crop to save us from our rice plantations going down. What year was this? This was in colonial times, so 1750s. So, that being said, she moved this indigo plant over to Sneed Farm in Mount Pleasant. You guys are from around here, you know where Mount Pleasant is at least. So that's where you can learn more about Charles Pinckney. There's a memorial there. So, a couple weird facts about Eliza we can ask about. Hopefully we can get some answers to. So, Eliza was the second wife named Eliza from Charles. Back to back. Way to go, Chief. So, they both went by their maiden name. So, Eliza blank Pinckney. They both start with L. I'm not going to give you what that answer is. So hopefully you can hear that on the spirit box, or if we decide to ask questions with the camera, hopefully we get an answer there with his audio. You can ask what happened to the mansion. You can ask anything you want to about Eliza's death. So how old she was, where was she buried, which U.S. president was a pallbearer at her funeral. You can ask how she died, any of those questions. She's pretty open about it. What I will ask you is that you do not ask about her children. Children, there's a tragedy involved, and once that starts to come up, we lose activity for the rest of the night, and I have another tour after yours. So I don't know what it is about that tragedy, but it kills my entire night of evidence. So just stay away from that. There is a light blinking on the back of the Five Church restaurant over there, and it doesn't always blink, but just so you guys, how I look at that light, it's the energy pouring out of here and affecting that very weak light over there. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off, sometimes it's blinking in different intervals. It will go in sync with your EMF meter if you pull that thing up like a selfie. No matter where you're standing in here, you'll get a pulse on yours. A second or two later, you'll see the pulse come up on the back of that building. Very interesting experiment to try. So right now it's looking kind of weak. I don't know what that means for us tonight, but usually that means we're not going to get a whole lot, but we might hear a few things. As far as lasers and cameras and all of the warnings I kind of gave you guys about before, same deal here, parking lot, stay away from vehicles. If you guys want to hear what they're catching on the spirit box, you want to hear what I'm doing with my spirit box, we'll kind of take that for what it is. And I think that's about it. So I know that more interesting things is listening, but you're going to be scanning all of the different areas and corners. That video that I showed you earlier was up in that corner. So you can see the post where we saw the two black kids come across.
Gotcha.
So let's kind of break off a little bit. We will spend a good 10 minutes over here.
Alright, bring your laser. Start shooting lasers. You're supposed to shoot. should. It'll make him feel good. What do you got there? You're drawing. Okay, like a cat. You know cats? They love those.
Are you going to run after it?
No, but I'm in the mood for a glass of milk. Let's look at this sign here. What do you got for that sign?
Right there, you know?
Yeah. What do you got for temperature
43.
of the sign? Well, I'm 44. So there.
No, 50. 43.
We want to see if like there's a big difference between them. That means something. You're capturing the surface. I'm capturing the air between here and the surface. Look, there's science mixed in with this craziness. In the parking lot. Looking for pizza boxes. This is a pizza. Cases of trash. Oh, car going by. Some broken glass. Be careful of that. Just colors, just blues and yellows and reds.
Maybe blues. Isn't that something?
I guess that's why they call it the blues. Time on my head. Every time spent with you. It's a trash can. It's a wall.
Can you still put your head right in there?
Can I do what?
Put your head right in there.
Why? Smell it?
Yeah. Tell me what it smells like.
I have a mask on, so I won't be able to smell. You know, because I have the COVID, I lost my sense of smell and taste.
Taking a lot of pictures over there. Jim's feet.
Right. Wish he would get
let us
a
interrupt you.
certain station so we could hear some music.
Don't let us.
Hmm?
I think give him a coupon.
They're on to me. That's a Mercedes. You could probably tell by the heat signature. Those Mercedes are hot. Said nobody ever. I think these two people are possessed, I'll be honest with you. Just look at that heat signature.
What time does this wait
10. Well, there's red lights flashing over there. Like every alarm pad. Thought we were gonna go to like where there was like
Dead people.
hangings and where did they used to do the duels? An alleyway.
Parking lots.
This used to be paradise, you know, but then they paved it. After that, they took all the trees and put them in a tree museum. And then charged everybody $1.50 to see them. This guy's walking around chasing a laser beam like a damn cat.
Missing video evidence.
I'm gonna see what's gonna happen.
It'll be under down.
Oh, good.
Oh, another pizza box. People really like pizza down here.
All those colors.
We were off like 1 or 2 degrees, but
Okay.
it wasn't anything dramatic.
Again,
Unfortunately,
that's not the most exciting tool, but it is fun to watch. So,
it's very psychedelic.
yeah. Yeah, I do get some folks that don't come sober, we'll say that.
Oh.
And that's not the camera that I want to give them.
No, right?
Let me follow up with the spirit box and then I'll kind of give you guys a
Okay. So they didn't use this camera sober. Imagine that. Oh, no. Okay. What time actually? How long? Oh, we still got 35 more. Alright, so we got cars. And the mirrors. Everybody's pretty warm. Let's go over the corner where you said there was some action before. Written on the wall right there.
Any difference when I put that light up there?
That's Mariano Rivera. Look at this. This is parking spot number 42.
Play Sandman. Enter Sandman.
That's right.
So did you point it towards that light?
Let's see what the lights got.
Put your thing out here.
Well, again, jeez. Let me get that on my FLIR camera.
Put your thing out here.
Okay, put it down.
I hear something.
Look at the wall, Jim. I'm seeing it.
Oh, it's definitely
Like a
going up
snake?
and down.
Yeah.
Definitely. Alan? We're over by that
Did you just
dumpster.
hear that?
I want to see. I want to catch a side view of that too.
Of what?
Something passing through this little section right here. That's what it's catching
Okay.
through his laser beam.
So he said something about that light bulb that
Right.
apparently needs to be changed.
But he says it's reacting to something.
To the weakness
Electronic
of the bulb.
energy. Maybe.
Anything weird? Y'all gathered up. I see excitement.
Well, she was taking a picture, and I was trying to cut through with the same on the same plane,
Sure.
but perpendicular to her.
Okay.
So
But nothing jumped out at me, and that's probably a poor term.
Well, I also
Nothing.
watch that on my TV. So when I upload it to YouTube, I sit down on the couch.
Oh, wow.
And I'm watching it that way, so that way I don't miss anything.
Right.
Obviously on a big 50-inch. So instead of watching it on that,
Yep.
I am altering a tablet right now to be replacing the phone. So
that'd be cool.
I'm creating like this foam rubber with handles and craziness, so that way the camera's protected more. There is a slight crack in that screen from somebody dropping it. And like, I have insurance, but I really don't want to replace an over $100 phone. So I found an old tablet and I'm trying to alter it. So that's hopefully going to be on the tour next week. I was just telling those folks about some people that have rated me like 1 star and why they do that. And while we did that, that's the word that I got.
Rating.
What'd you get?
Rating.
Ooh.
So what you guys don't know is when you went to the bathroom, the word toilet came up as soon as you walked away. And I don't think I've ever seen toilet on this list. I've been using this thing for years.
And how does this
So,
gather?
just like I explained before, this is allegedly sweeping through FM radio stations and taking up random hits. Now, my speculation, my speculative brain part of this, says that it's just giving me random words and things like that.
What's this? Another pizza box? I think it's a McDonald's wrapper. What's that over there?
Anything? Nothing?
I thought I saw something, and it turned out it was the 2 other people in our group tonight. So for real. I don't know if this means anything, but I keep wanting to sing the song from Rent, "Seasons of Love," and if that's related at all to any of the things that he's been talking about all night. Song stuck in my head. "Seasons of Love" from Rent.
I didn't know which president was a pallbearer.
Are you shooting any lasers? Get the
There's no point.
Can't do both.
I actually, believe it or not, 2 months ago,
Okay, what's your temperature?
98.6. Oh, you gotta lock it on something. 43.9.
No, 44.
Oh, that's what you had? Alright. Let's get the back wall right over there. Because, you know, maybe they like to stay near the walls. I got 46.5.
No, 46.2.
Alright, so still close, but no difference. So nobody's sitting there. Do they sit or do they just hover? Or they float? Probably floating. I mean, if you can float, why would you ever want to sit? Because floating's like flying. What do you got?
49.8.
46.
That's all right. We'll come to you guys. All right.
That was
So,
3 degrees difference.
you still recording? Good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I always
yep.
follow up with you guys from time to time. All right,
Good,
so
yep.
the answer, well, first off, you guys should all know I asked Eliza how many children she had, and I got the number 3. She technically had 4, but 1 died in infancy. So 3 living children would have been a correct answer. Earlier, I was asked if I'm listening for the number 4, am I going to hear the number 4? It's obvious that I heard the number 3 instead. So they heard the number 21 on their spirit box. Eliza was 22 when she got married, but her birth date is all over the place. Some say December 22nd, some say December 28th, so it's all over the map. So again, it could have been 21, but I normally get the number 22 here because, again, December 22nd is her birthday, and married at 22, 22 is a pretty prominent number in this location. He got 21. So I'm going to dive into some birth dates and see what else I can find. Let's see here. Eliza died at the age of 70 in Philadelphia from what we think is breast cancer. Okay? It's like colonial times. We don't know what cancer was then. So we're probably going based off the symptoms she had when she was in the hospital. Now, she was also buried there. Keep that in mind. Buried there in the Pontiac. That's why we don't really visit the cemeteries. If you're a ghost, are you going to hang out when you're buried? Probably not. You're walking through a cemetery. Charleston has enough death and famine that people are going to catch some ghosts. But look at this fact. George Washington was the president that carried her to her grave. So if that tells you how important she was, our first president was a pallbearer. That's a pretty big deal. So the names, Eliza Lucas Pinckney was the second wife. Eliza Lamb Pinckney was the first wife. So Lamb and Lucas were the names we were looking for there. Obviously, I'm going to be reviewing the thermal imaging camera in this location, as well as the spirit box recording to see what else I hear, and you guys will have audio markers for that. We are going to walk up East Bay Street past that restroom that we just went to. So if anybody has to go, we will make a quick pit stop. We're going to go up to Lodge Alley. It's about 4 blocks away. But again, we're going to actual haunted locations, not just sightseeing. So it's definitely a massive area, which you guys are already there. But obviously when I'm talking, I'm even getting winded. So, because I've been on and off. Questions, comments, concerns? Is this what you guys thought you were getting yourselves into? I'm putting you to work. So, all the data you guys are recording is actually going towards my PhD program that I applied for next year. I finished up my master's this summer, and the PhD program is in creativity, where I get to pick my dissertation. Obviously, I'm going to choose the paranormal, but I have to already be in my field with so many hours. I'm well past that, but all of your data is my application. So, which is super hysterical. So when I'm done, I will literally be a doctor of ghosts in the paranormal. So that will be my made-up title, and it will give my son. So it will take that for what it is. All right, let's go to Lodge Alley. And let's see. You guys listen to your spirit box along the way. Listen for names. I'm not going to take your phone to Lodge. Is that everybody? Is that a cameraman?
Oh, Jesus. No, I wasn't seeing a ghost. It was just him almost tripping and falling.
Want anything from the candy store?
No good things.
They had a super fireball over there.
You mean the drink?
Well, I didn't mean that, but that too.
You hit me and twitched on the left side.
Look at our car.
Yeah. No, it's away from there.
Tim, do you want a truffle?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
How are you?
Gotta pick it up.
This is not a GoPro.
It's tough to see the. It's tough to.
Mosman, in the train.
Can't help you, man. No.
He came in, so he was, I don't know how y'all.
Do not have anybody in it. No faces. The reason why is you guys didn't sign waivers for that. So I had to take off the questions that were on there. I think I talked to both of you about that.
All right, got it.
Cool.
Hey? Yeah. I'm supposed to have people in it to offset, create more contrast.
So, welcome to Lodge Alley. It's one of the oldest streets in Charlestown. Once we pass the market, you're inside the Charlestown original walls. So this is one of the oldest streets. These bricks are made out of clay, handmade, hand laid. None of them are the same shape or size or even space, as you can tell. People used to live here. Why I asked you for names? Obviously, with the cat, I didn't get a chance to listen. I have the full list of names of all the people that used to live here. They were little shotgun houses. So these people were obviously considered lower class. And if you think of the peninsula of Charleston, back then, all the man-made junk along the edges wasn't there, which means low tides smell came through here quite often. So lower class people, they did an archaeological dig in between the bricks. They found some tools, some silverware, some little pieces of clothing. They were able to classify them as lower class people, and there were many fires. So we get all kinds of clues. Now the names I normally get, Benjamin and John. 2 out of 4 people that lived here in 1801. I don't find it ironic that I get those 2 names paired together often, probably at least once a month. So that's often. So when I hear Benjamin and John, whether it's coming from 2 different spirit boxes or 1 spirit box or on an audio, whatever, it's Benjamin and John. It is what it is. I catch lots of orbs down here, so by all means, you're going to be the last person out taking pictures the opposite way. I usually get like greenish blue orbs here, no matter which camera it is. So if you're taking pictures with your cell phone and you capture something, feel free to send it over to me. My wife's day job, on top of being a photography major, is she works for Best Buy as a cell phone manager. Being a photographer, she knows every camera and every cell phone. So she could tell me, oh, the iPhone 11 does that. The S7 does that. Not a big deal. That was debunked. So we debunk things pretty quickly based on her knowledge. But we do get a lot of interesting things. Lodge Alley is haunted allegedly. Every hotel in Charleston has a haunting. None of them give me free rooms to verify. I'm not condoning any of them. So I will probably start renting out rooms at haunted rooms starting this year once I have something extra on the podcast. I do do that. So room 304. I have had some of the salespeople that work for Blue Green on my tours, and they do tell me 304 is room around, there's supposed to be locked, doors open, all kinds of things. So hopefully I can get room 304 while I'm not staying here. So we'll take that to where it is. This is also a place where the Masons used to meet. I don't know much about that. Where the word Masons come up, bricks, business, anything like that, I feel like it's what they do. So it's just kind of my thing. Again, I wanted to be brief here, give the spirit box a chance to record, even though we're not listening to it directly, so that way we can see everything that comes up here. I did get quite a few physical soap. I was waiting for the word fire since they brought that up to me. But nothing specific. I didn't get any names on my end. We are going to cut through the rest of this, but we're going to end up in a neighborhood that we're just passing by. So tour guides are not allowed to be tour guides in neighborhoods, so we're just going to be 7 friends walking through with heavy equipment and no flashy lights, things like that. So we're going to head over to hear a bunch of stories up in a pretty busy corner. So again, masks up for everybody, including myself, and we will see what's happening there. Hey, how are you?
So we're going to take
So we're just going to kind of walk through slowly, and the rest of the recording, pick up there if he wants to listen, so that at an audio level can use a really quiet area and use our residents as here at the end. So of course, if you want to take pictures for more while we're here for a few minutes, please do so. I'm sure we'd all like to see them, because everybody's going to have access to that. So, are you having fun yet? You seem bored. I'm not pointing you out like that, but you...
Yeah, I sort of am.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't what I expected.
Well, I apologize.
It's okay.
I thought I saw something, but couldn't tell.
What's your temperature?
Here, shoot the wall. I got 57.6. Okay. Give me a temp over there.
Where?
Wherever, I'll go to wherever you go.
Okay.
51 even.
50.
Oh.
So there has been no fluctuation.
Yes. The frequency modulation is off, I think.
Huh?
You forgot to set the frugostat. I don't know. Kind of looks like it, yeah. Look, we're really close.
There's the garage.
Yeah.
We parked in that garage. So our ghost tour took us over there. Remember that building with all the crosses on it? And that yellow building right there is where somebody died in a fire or something?
Yep.
Remember?
Yep.
Widened the road. This used to be Dock Street, which is Dock Street Theater. So Dock Street Theater has a little bit of a history. So it was obviously a theater, and then we turned it into Planters Hotel, and then back to Dock Street Theater that we know now. So keep that in mind with this first little tale. There's a young lady that used to work here in the 1800s, early, Nettie Dickerson. She was past the marrying the age of 17. Nobody wanted to marry her. She worked here at the church. She seen what was going on downtown. motocross. I like all the girls that have it on it. And put on the best of the dress. Down there and gotta go. The best like going. Right? But she's still not happy. Right? Happy to back on getting herself pictures. So she's got to the second story balcony and kind of ponder about coming back to the church. Pretty sees this woman. Down there, talk to her, trying to get her to come back. Storm rolls in and strikes the wrought iron banister that she's laid on and strikes her dead. The interesting thing about the story is that when you see her ghost inside Dock Street Theater, it's from the knees up only. Why is that? Planners Hotel turned back into Dock Street Theater that we know now. We raised that first floor ceiling. She's walking on the floor that she knows. It kind of shows you a little bit of the legitimacy of what guys like me do when we see a weird thing, like why is this ghost so short? So obviously they did some research and found out because of the first floor. So did you guys see where the gas lamp is back there? That's the pirate house. So the pirate house, you can't miss it. Somebody does live there. That's why we're not up there. It has a big anchor on the front of it. That's where Blackbeard's men would come off their ships, go hang out, have a few drinks, meet girls. He dug a tunnel from the pirate house. And dug a tunnel all the way over to Dock Street Theater. We just filled that in back in the 1990s. So there was rumor that Blackbeard's treasure was there. All know it's in North Carolina. So take that for what it is. But the other story that he's probably telling, and I want to get like the grid pen. Where are the grids again? You have them, right? So once we get up to the cemetery, feel free to flash your grids in there.
Into the cemetery.
Correct.
Okay.
So let's get some pictures. I'm looking for weird dots when we get up there. But there's a sign up there that says there's no ghost of St. Philip's besides the Holy Ghost. Why is that? 1888. We got you on camera.
What are you taking?
Capturing everything.
No, maybe
But,
not.
well, I don't think I'm qualified to interpret what I'm seeing.
Well, that's what when he said what we were discussing. I didn't think that whatever data was being had is what we're going to get tomorrow. Is what can be determined.
So, we want to try to get something nice and still. So you can take a ton of pictures. If you find the zoom button on there, you can also zoom.
Oh, okay.
Can you see my laser on the tombstone?
Let me see if I can pick it up.
Well, you can only be where mine is?
No, I want to see if I can see your beam on this.
You know, this photographer caught because it's cursed, of course, and it's very
Hard to tell.
superstitious, as I'm sure you can imagine. Any woman that holds the picture will not feel well. Same symptoms I told you about at Big John's. A woman is pregnant holding the picture, is not going to have a good pregnancy. That's the rumor. I'm not getting a phone call 9 months from now.
Yeah, I was like, I guess we don't want to test it.
I don't test it. You want to look it up? Her name was Sue Howard Hardy. The funny thing is, if I say her name wrong and call her Susan, she'll tell me Susan. I've had it several times. And it's only when I call her Susan my actual name. So that's very good. Actually, I want to say it's a little bit further back, but I'm just looking for anything out of those words. If I can get any of them.
Have they ever had this open?
Yeah, you can walk through. They've been doing a lot of renovations the past 6 months or so. And we're going to talk about the other side of the graveyard as well, because there's two sides.
We came through earlier this morning looking at stuff. Saw, what was that? Lily?
Let's go over this.
Oh yeah, it was
The child.
a child, yeah.
Just grave that popped out of us.
So just so you guys, the two different sides of the cemetery, like this side is for native Charlestonians, the other side is for everybody else. Calhoun is buried over there because he's not native.
Okay.
So they moved him several times. He's in a sarcophagus, and you can go visit that side too during the daytime, and they have it open where you can actually walk through it.
talk to you, Vincent. It's good.
Alright, so if you didn't hear me, Calvin is buried on this side of the cemetery. You can visit it during the daytime. He is in the sarcophagus. He's been used several times. So the last place we're going to look at is the Powder Magazine. And the reason why we're looking at this, first off, it's the oldest government building on the East Coast. 1713 was when it was finished. It is constructed of 32-inch thick walls. It has a roof filled with sand from 1712. So, yeah, the reason for that is at the very corner of where the Charlestown Wall would have came up. So I told you it came up Cumberland. It went up about half a block past that, and that's the reason why it's so far away from the water, because this was still Charlestown. So if it were to get attacked, the big thick walls and the sand would keep the blast contained and not damage anything else inside the city. So there's a ghost that is attached to this place, probably because it's our oldest building here. Her name is Anne Bonny. She was a female pirate. Quick story on her, because I'm still learning, hopefully we'll gather more evidence on her, is that she got married per her father's request. They were from Ireland. Dad was a big, prominent political person. So he said, you're getting married. She got married. She had an affair with a pirate. How could she? Joined his crew by dressing up like a man. Obviously she's female. She gets part of the crew. She finds another female doing the exact same thing. Married a dude. She obviously is friends, but the ship gets captured. Now, Nick was the only one who has been able to however, all the pilots that were there, all the male pilots that were tried and caught. The two females, Mary and Anne, said that they were pregnant. So they delayed their headings. And Anne's father, David, what a year that was, bailed her out of jail, lived a long, healthy life, and before that he knows. Mary, however, died in jail. Now, lots of weird things come out of this place. I had anything come up, I had a trial come up, I had the number 300 come up on the 300th anniversary of that trial. 2020, I got the number 300. So, we're going to kind of spend about 10 minutes here. We're going to get close to the Powder Magazine. Feel free to go around to the front and take pictures, shoot lasers up in front of it. I would say the back brick building, I don't know what's here right now. I don't want to disrupt anything with lasers and all of that. But definitely listen to your spirit box. Ask as many questions as you'd like. I'd love to know what you come up with as far as I don't have prompted questions like I do with a live. So again, keep listening. Find those hot spots we're keeping up so we have it. Let's see who's captured, and then we'll wrap it up. How's that sound? Alright. Do a textbook. Telling me to do more research.
Which way you want to head?
This way. Near that apartment building.
Oh.
So this is a cemetery on the other side here? Oh, that's the other side of it.
Look at that yellow spot below the second window. What's that about?
Well, it's lighter.
I got 47,
It's lighter brick.
47 and a half there.
48 and a half. Yeah.
Mm.
The brick is actually a lighter color, that's all. Underneath that window, right?
Yes, right.
I have to go back.
I remember parking in this parking lot before.
Yeah.
There's a big root in this spot right over there. Yeah.
On Halloween night.
That's right.
So anything crazy on there?
Every time I saw something really out of the ordinary, then it became obvious once I was spending a little time looking at it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the way that camera goes.
I would see something pass, and then I'm like, wait a second, I'd go back to it, and then it would reappear.
Because it's just a cold spot on the wall or the ground, or
It could be. At first I didn't know, right?
Right.
But I'm also just kind of learning how to interpret it all.
well, that's the cool thing about what I'm doing here is that every device, there's still something more to learn about it.
Yeah.
You know, just yeah, stuff like this I can debunk pretty quickly. But with the camera, I mean, I take that thing to like Sumter, I took it to Gettysburg. You know, I took it to all these places to investigate.
Gettysburg, that must have been crazy.
Wasn't as crazy as what people hyped it up.
Oh.
I did get some activity, but nothing that was like what you see on TV. Like that's all crazy. You know, that's why I do this. I want to do the honesty piece to show people like it's not all. Oh my God, it's demons. People pushed me. It's not like that. So when I'm doing my investigations, I literally have that spirit box on mute in my pocket. That's in my cargo with just the camera pointing out.
Yeah.
So I'm not, or sometimes it's in here. I'll just have it so that way it's a, my point of view.
Right.
My phone's doing its thing and the EMF's in my other pocket. I walk around just like a tourist or a museum visitor, just like everybody else, and I review all the data later.
We're collecting all that data, right?
And nobody knows what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because it's all on mute.
Oh, okay.
So I'm walking around reading the plaques and enjoying the museum just like everybody else. I'm just loaded with gear, but nobody can see it.
Right.
So.
Well.
This is an apartment building, all right?
So the back of this, I'm not sure exactly what this is, but I know that it was part of what the museum used to be. So it used to be like this textile operation that went on, and I know it's all attached. I don't know what's back there now. I stay, because I actually visit this quite often. I have a season pass because they have a great library in there. Books I can't get anywhere else. But it's really cool to see if you've never been there.
Yeah.
Because they show all the wars that it served in, and it's served in 7 different wars. So it shows all the different uniforms from those wars. And migrated to the front. So let's follow suit.
Okay. Wait, they're this way?
Yeah.
The voices down there. That's
No, that's a different tour.
Oh.
Our tour people.
Wrapping the last bit up. Are you hearing anything over there, Alex? Not getting much. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, get you guys my card, and of course direct you into any place you need me to send you. Then you guys can ask me a million questions if you'd like. It's completely up to you. I'm an open book once the recording's up.
Here's a Connecticut car right here.
Huh?
Here's a Connecticut Fiat.
That's
odd. Yeah.
Why is that on?
you just happen to lean on it.
From somewhere.
Okay.
Gizmos. Let that spirit box be close to the
I'm Randy.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm Nick, Stories and Cemetery.
Okay, yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, I'm going. I'm not here.
Okay.
I like him.
For you guys, to you guys, and you guys can pass them out to each couple. That way you guys can check out the website ahead of time.
Okay.
So what happens from here
Oh, thank you.
is I will go through everything in the morning, and then I start giving you your analysis. I'm usually done by noon, so please don't shoot me if it's 12:30. But I will text Lisa the link to get there, and then she'll send it off to the rest of you guys. And what questions do y'all have for me?
So, what was tonight like in your system?
So I'm excited about the number 3. I'll have to see what comes up out of that spirit box. He did say he had a couple of weird spots that he was able to debunk pretty quickly with the camera. Thank you for shooting one video. You saved me a lot of time.